This is the retro gramophone from Pantasy and it's absolutely amazing. From the ease of building to the incredible attention to detail, even if you're not a retro fan, you're going to love this one. So let's get into it. So first, let's talk about Pantasy, the company behind this really cool build. Pantasy is a company dedicated to creating nostalgic, highly detailed building block sets inspired by retro, pop and art culture. Founded with a passion for creativity, they focus on delivering unique, high quality products that stand out from their competitors. Their designs are meant to invoke a sense of fun and nostalgia, making them ideal for collectors like myself and fans of retro aesthetics. They're committed to quality, innovation and community engagement, aiming to bring joy through building experiences. So with that brief overview of Pantasy covered, let's now move on to the packaging. When it comes to the packaging, in my opinion, it's very solid. The box is sturdy and the set is well protected inside. The designs on the outside of the box reflect the final build very well, and they also reference the types of bricks used, in this case Go bricks, as well as their use of pad printing throughout the set. So now let's talk about the bricks themselves. Pantasy uses Go bricks, which are known for their quality and compatibility with other major brands. They've got a reputation for having a tight clutch and great durability, and for me this made the whole building experience even more enjoyable than it already was. We've mentioned the box and the bricks, let's just talk about the instructions. So the instruction booklet is fairly easy to follow, which is always a good thing. If you've built with other brands, the structure will feel familiar. The paper quality is solid and it feels good in the hands. That said, there are a few spots where I think it could be a bit clearer, but nothing that would really hold you back too much. So before we move on to the building experience of this beautiful set, I just want to quickly touch on the price. The price is $79.99 USD, which I think is very well done, especially because of the incredible design and some of the play features that it includes. Now let's talk about the build experience. The set comes divided into 4 bags, each representing a different stage of the build. Bag 1 starts off easy, setting the foundation, and as you move through the bags 2 and 3, the build will get a little bit more intricate but stays enjoyable. Bag 4 is where the magic happens and you get to assemble the beautiful gramophone speaker. Pantasy also provide their own brick separator, and I'll be totally honest, I actually think this is one of my favourite brick separators. I think the design is lovely, the colour combination of the pink and blue works perfectly. Now I just want to cover some of the pad printed tiles within this set because I kid you not, some of them are absolutely beautiful. You'll find some tiles of classical composers like Beethoven and Bach. There's a Pantasy record with sheet music, including a mini vinyl for Ode to Joy. And then you also have a large vinyl that sits on top of the gramophone. This absolutely blew my mind because the details for it are just incredible. It's complete with authentic writing and printed rings, just like a real record. Not to mention there's also some retro corner tiles that also sit perfectly on top of the gramophone and just adds even more charm to the overall look. Once again, the attention to detail in this set is just next level. Now let's look at the speaker design, which in my opinion is one of the standout features of this set. The speaker is built with chrome gold pieces that clip onto a ring and it perfectly captures the classic gramophone look. On the side, there's also a fully functional volume dial which you can twist the knob to move, which I think is a really nice touch. The design not only looks amazing, but also adds that vintage charm to the entire set. There are also some really cool mechanical features within this build, and as you saw earlier, the vinyl does actually spin on top of the gramophone. This is controlled by rotating the handle that you can find on the side of the gramophone. Not only does it cause the record to spin, but you can also see some different composers displayed along the side. Personally, I love how Pantasy have integrated this mechanical feature within the build. I think it's really clever and just adds for that additional play feature. Now, I didn't think this set could get any better, but it actually does. You get to build a mini music lounge on the side of the gramophone, complete with a piano, a microphone and a mini gramophone with its own tiny vinyl. The piano design is fantastic and the storytelling in the lounge is cohesive. The music for Ode to Joy ties everything together, and if you look closely, the tiny gramophone is playing the same record. It's an enchanting, well thought out detail that I think really elevates this set. Lastly, to show how complete the build is, even the backside of the gramophone has been carefully designed. You can see how the speaker connects seamlessly to the body and there's a nice mesh detailing that adds to the vintage feel of the set. I think it's a small but thoughtful detail that really enhances the overall aesthetic. So now that we're done with the building experience, I just wanted to touch on the one con that I did have with this set, and that was the instructions. I know I mentioned it earlier on in the video, but I just wanted to reinforce that point here. I did feel there were a few steps which were slightly unclear, and it just made it a little bit more complicated than it had to be. So hopefully for future sets, they can just work on ironing out that issue. So to summarise, I think this set is pretty much perfect. I know I've mentioned that before. Pantasy have absolutely knocked it out of the park with their retro gramophone. And if you're into retro aesthetics or that sort of thing, I'm going to say this is probably a must-have for you. It's also just an all-round great building experience. If you enjoyed the review, be sure to hit that like button and let me know your thoughts on this set down in the comment section. And if you're new around here and you want to support the channel, maybe consider subscribing. As always, I'll see you in the next one.